students, how are you today? Welcome to our English lesson. Today the topic of our lesson is the words of wealth. Now let's start our lesson. Today we are going to learn new vocabulary, improve reading skills, listen to a text, practice and do exercises. Now students, our today's lesson is organized by 5E technology. Engage, explain, explore, elaborate and evaluate. In this engage part, we will do organization moment. I'll divide you into two groups and at the same time I'll check your home task. In this part, explain part, I'll explain you new words with their definitions. In this part, explore, you will listen the text and listening task here and do the exercise for the text. In elaborate part, you will do differentiation task by outcoming of the students and by their abilities. In evaluate part, I'll give you an assessment paper and by given descriptors, you assess yourselves. Students, here explain part. Here I'll introduce you with new words and now with their definitions. Pride, the state of feeling of being proud. Envy, the feeling you have when you wish you could have the same thing or qualities that someone else has. Gluttony, the act or habit of eating too much and being greedy. Now the next, anger, the strong emotion that you feel when you think that someone has behaved in an unfair, cruel and unacceptable way. Greed, the desire to have more of something such as food or money than is necessary or fair. Sloth, laziness, especially with regard to work. Now, let's go on doing the task. Now students, we are going to listen to the text. Before the listening, I'll give you some questions. Be ready to answer these following questions. Why did Sagat sit down by the side of the road? What is the meaning of the old man's warning at the end of the first paragraph? Only a contented man can have an eternal feast. What made Sagat forget about his hunger and his family? What happened to Sagat in the end? Now students, be ready to listen to the text while listen attentively during the listening text and be attentive and don't forget to pay attention to the questions that you have to answer at the end of the listening text.
The worth of wealth. Once upon a time, there was a very poor man named Sagat. He and his family lived in poverty. They had no money, no food, and their house was falling down. One day, Sagat was exhausted and starving, so he sat down at the side of the road. He fell asleep, and as he slept, he dreamed. In his dream, he saw an old man with a long white beard. The man told him, "Wake up, go to the abandoned house near where you are sleeping. Dig under the floor in front of the fireplace, and you will find a magic purse. Every time you open and close the purse, a gold coin will appear inside. But remember, only a contented man can have an eternal feast." Sagat woke up and ran at once to the old house. He dug in the ground where the old man in his dream had told him to. As he dug, he said to himself, "If I find one gold coin, I'll buy myself a big meal. If I find 2 gold coins, I'll buy food for my whole family. If I find 3 gold coins, I'll buy my wife a new dress." Sagat found the purse. He opened it. Inside there was 1 gold coin. He closed it and opened it. 2 gold coins. Again, he closed the purse and opened it. 3 gold coins. Sagat laughed. He thought of the fine clothes he would buy and the enormous palace he would build. He would be richer than a prince. He opened and closed the purse 100 times. He forgot about his hunger. He opened and closed it 100 times more. He forgot about his family. For 2 weeks he sat on the floor of the old house, opening and closing the purse, until his body was so tired and hungry that his heart stopped. Sagat didn't listen to the man in his dream, and he paid a great price. He should have known that in the end, the person who counts gold dies of hunger.
Now, students, let's see how good you are at listening. And don't forget, students, that listening is one of the most important parts of any language learning. And let's see the first question. Why did Sagat sit down by the side of the road? He was hungry and tired. Yes, okay, good, well done. The next question. What's the meaning of the old man's warning at the end of the first paragraph? Only a contented man can have an eternal feast. Here 3 answers. People who are satisfied with what they have can be happy forever. And happy people always end up hungry. The man who has the magic purse will never be hungry again. And the correct answer is, how do you think? Which answer is correct? Yes, you are right. People are satisfied with what they have can be happy forever. Now, the next question. What made Sagat forget about his hunger and his family? 3 answers. His happiness, his greed, his imagination. Which answer is correct? Do you know? Yes, well done. Of course, his greed. And the last question. What happened to Sagat in the end? 3 answers here also. He died of hunger, he learned an important lesson, and he had to give all the coins away. Which answer is correct, my students? Yes, you are right. Good job. He died of hunger. Now, let's do one more exercise. Match the words in boxes to their meanings. You can use your dictionary. Extremely hungry. Lasting forever. The state of being happy with what you have. The state of not having enough. Very tired. With no one living there. Extremely hungry, starving. Lasting forever, eternal. The state of being happy with what you have, contented. The state of not having enough, poverty. Very tired, exhausted, with no one living there, abandoned. Now, students, the next our task is differentiation task. With verbal spot method is to help students to use new words in the sentence. In this task, we'll listen to the text once more and fill in the gaps. Now, listen attentively. Once upon a time, there was a very poor man named Sagat. He and his family lived in poverty. They had no money, no food, and their house was falling down. One day, Sagat was exhausted and starving. So he sat down at the side of the road. He fell asleep, and as he slept, he dreamed. In his dream, he saw an old man with long white beard. The man told him, "Wake up! Go to the abandoned house near where you are sleeping. Dig under the floor in front of the fireplace and you'll find the magic purse. Every time you open the clothes and purse, a gold coin will appear inside. But remember, only a contented man have an eternal feast." Okay, now do the task. You will listen and fill the gaps, please. Now, check yourselves. I hope you'll do the task correctly. In the visit, poverty, exhausted, starving, abundant, purse, coin, contented, and eternal. Yes, you are right. You may put your points on your assessment paper. Now, these tasks are given for elaborate part, and this is a differentiation task. You should know that differentiation tasks you should do individually. That's why you should do it individually. Now, put the events in the correct chronological order. The old man told Sagat about magic purse. Sagat found the purse. Sagat fell asleep and dreamed about an old man. Sagat imagined being a very rich man. Sagat thought about what they would buy. To his family, if he found the purse, Sagat sat down at the side of the road. Sagat forgot about his family and he eventually starved to death. Sagat opened and closed the purse many, many times. Sagat woke up and went to find the purse. It's individual task. Now let's do. Now let's, students, I hope that you do this task without mistakes. Now check yourself. A 3, B 6, and first is F. Now students, today's lesson comes to the end. Now write down your home task. Your home task is exercise number 8 at page 59. Draw the story of the West of the World as a comic strip in 6 pictures.